I'm David Smouha, and I'm here today with John Tudman. And John is telling us some of the episodes that he experienced while he was at Bathurst Jail.
But anyway, look, getting back to the question about using media as a medium.
Yep.
Well, here's a classic example. Here's a video editing machine. We were inside a prison, and it was quite an amazing time to be inside a prison. Mr. Yabsley had come to power. There was a lot of politics played, and also I was a member of an inmate development committee where three of us represented the inmates to talk to the superintendent or talk to official them about any problems we may have, because it was in their interest. I made quite a lot of different types of videos in prison. One was a literacy video, because there's a lot of people who can't read or write in the general population, but more so in prison, which I didn't know much about. One of the highlights of being there was we started up a peer education program. There was another inmate, Neil Carroll, and he's since passed away. And he and I got together in Bathurst Jail and set up what they call the peer education program. It was about teaching other inmates about HIV and clean needles. And it was a revolutionary idea inside the prison system. And Neil had written a play, it was called Miles from Nowhere, about an inmate who contracted HIV and ended up hanging himself.
We do have footage of that video, so you will be seeing that.
We all got out there and made this arduous video inside a cell.
Now that's interesting. I'd like to hear about the constraints of shooting in a cell.
Because we use needles, syringes. I mean, as you know, they're not fond of them in prison. So we had to have security. So
how big's the cell?
The cell's not big. It's you might fit two very small single beds into a cell. And so behind the camera, so as I filmed, there would be three prison officers in there. There was the unit officers in there, in right here, and mace and things like that, and then we had another wing officer. Plus I was filming, and I think we had the media teacher, Bruce Fell was there, so we had a lot of people behind the camera. But, yeah, so anyway, that's how we made the film, Miles from Nowhere.
Fuck's name you doing up in the middle of the night?
Visit day today, mate. My lady's coming. Well, we'll be first.
Any chance of that shield of yours bringing some gear today?
Nah, she's too straight for that.
Where is that kid?
I don't know, mate.
Hello, Taz.
How'd you go?
At the top, is it?
I can see you had a good visit by the silly bloody grin on your face.
Yeah, I could only get 60 though, mate. That's all she had. She's going to give it to Charlie's contact.
Better than nothing, I suppose.
Nah, not for 60, mate. You get me a carton of fags and the boy up, and we've got to do it.
You're a hard man, Chaz.
That's the way it goes.
So, mate, you still got that fit?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, boot down and get it, son.
Got it, mate.
Bad size caps.
Yeah, all right, Hey, aren't you going to wash it first?
What for?
Mate, after reading that article on AIDS, they reckon you can catch AIDS off them.
Bullshit. Anyway, it hasn't worried you before.
Oh, mate, but after reading that article...
Do you want the fucking shot or not?
Yeah, of course I do. But I think we should still wash it first.
Yeah, I give up. Wash the fucking thing, will you? Just hurry up. What's that?
It's bleach. They reckon bleach is the only thing that'll kill the virus. You should wash your feet out with cold water, and run some bleach through it, and wash it out with cold water again. I reckon you should do it every time it's used.
All right. Just fucking hurry up, will ya? Come on, Scotty.
Yeah, hang on a sec. I'll just change the water so we don't reinfect the bastard. Wasn't much top to that, was it, mate? Remember that ace thing I was telling you I was reading? About fits and all? Wish I'd have known that when I first started using. You know, it really worries me. I might have it. But we shared a lot of fits since we started.
Don't be silly, Scotty. It's a poofters disease. I only tell you that so you won't use gear. You ought to know what they're like by now.
Hey, Chica, what time's the clinic open in the morning?
About 8, I think. Why?
Just wondered.
What's with all this shit? You're up to something and I want to know what.
Well, after reading that article on AIDS, as I said, I was worried. So I went and had a test.
What for?
For AIDS. The results come back tomorrow and I'm shit scared.
Look, don't worry about it, mate. You haven't been plugging anybody, have you? Or receiving any swollen goods or anything like that, have you?
Fuck off. We've shared a lot of fits over the last few months.
Look, I told you it's a lot of shit. Just forget about it. Go to sleep, will you? Hey, weren't you expecting those test results back today? That's what all these questions about dying and escort were about, isn't it? Well, answer me, damn it. Well, that's fucking lovely, ain't it? Where does that leave me? What are you, some sort of closet queen, a jail cat or something?
No, I'm fucking not. For all I know, I might have caught it off you. I never used a needle till I met you and now I'm gonna die.
Well, I didn't have to twist your arm, did I? How do you do this, Scotty?
Cold water. Bleach and cold water.
So that was the film Miles from Nowhere.
So that was a real milestone.
And it was also
Yeah.
it was about HIV. It was
Yeah.
in our interest, so we set up the...
And was there a high HIV contraction rate in prisons?
There should have been. This is how HIV was spread in America.
Yeah.
My interest in it was my brother died of HIV when I was in prison. So I had a great interest in HIV, and when you went to prison there were probably 400, 600 inmates, and say out of 600 inmates in a prison, 300 or 400 would inject, and there's probably 3 syringes in the prison. So the potential risk of HIV infection was enormous. How it spread into the heterosexual community, after the gay community, was it went into the prison system, and the inmates then, through injecting drugs, spread it into the heterosexual community. And once it reached the heterosexual community in America, it just took off like wildfire. So we tried, well, the idea was to try and stop it spreading into the heterosexual community through the prison system, which it did in America.
Yeah.
That's what I tried.
And statistically it was had a degree of success by the sound of it.
Yes, it was very, very successful. It was a model for all sorts of prison policies around the world.
Yeah.
No one could believe that it existed because it was very, very difficult, because to get an inmate to teach another inmate about HIV, they had to have some credibility. So you had to, this was the idea of HIV peer education. You had to pick a leader of the Lebanese community, and a leader of the Chinese community, and a leader of the white community. So the peer education program was very successful. It created a department inside Department of Corrections, and they loved us. And from there we had United Nations recognition and World Health Organization recognition.
Terrific. Great, John. Thank you.